Well, students, today I will be discussing about valuation of the firm. Valuation of the firm. This concept was given by Durant, in which he discussed about various approaches to ascertain the valuation of the firm. The first approach was net income approach. Another approach was net operating income approach. But before we go ahead, it is very important to know the formation of the capital structure, what corporates usually follow. So here we have the capital structure is basically the proportion of the debt and equity in which a corporate finances its businesses. See, in the big corporate houses, if I talk about, there are only two sources of finance, which first one is debt or another one is equity. We are discussing about the net income approach. So what does it suggest? It suggests that the value of the firm can be increased by decreasing the overall cost of capital, which is known as WACC, weighted average cost of capital. And how this is reduced, the overall cost of capital is reduced by enhancing the higher amount of debt proportion which is included further in the capital structure. Okay, so this is the basic concept. Value of the firm can be enhanced or can be increased by decreasing the overall cost of capital. And how we could decrease the WACC or the overall cost of capital? By keep on increasing the higher debt proportion, by issuing bonds, by issuing debentures to the investors, or simply borrowing from the merchant bankers or the investment bankers. One thing is to be noted, the cost of equity is always greater than the cost of debt. Okay, because debt is always considered as the cheapest source of finance. Okay, so and we will see that if we keep on increasing the debt amount in our capital structure, and by keeping the equity proportion constant, okay, and the overall cost of capital will come down. See, this is a graph, and this graph will be explained by one numeral example also. See, the cost of equity constant here, cost of debt is also constant if simply we plot the graph between the cost and the debt. Okay, so it is quite clear, you see here, that if we keep on increasing this amount, okay, this keep on increasing the debt amount, as long as we increasing the debt amount, okay, we increase the debt amount in the capital structure, we will see the overall cost of capital coming down and down. Okay, so this is what we will prove through one of the illustrations in our example. Okay, just take a look here, and yeah, this is and there are some assumptions also. The first assumption is that which is given here. So Durant assumed, and he gave various assumptions, like there are only two sources of funds, which I have already discussed, equity and the debt. Okay, equity means by floating IPO in the market, initial public offerings in the market, going public in the market by acquiring funds from the public. Debt means like issuing bonds, issuing debentures, or simply borrowing from the bankers, okay, whether the merchant bankers or the investment bankers. The dividend payout ratio is 100%. Okay, means there are no retained earnings and there are no corporate taxes as well, which Durant assumed in its concept of the valuation of the firm. Okay, case number one. So this is the case number one which we have with us. The 500,000 is total earning before interest and taxes, and the debt amount is for initially 300,000. Cost of debt is 5%, cost of equity is 10%. As I have already said that this is 5%, this is 10%, which clearly shows, and this is the basic practical thing which you should consider, that KE is always, as I told you, that the cost of debt, okay, is always lower than the cost of equity, okay, or vice versa. You can say cost of equity is always higher than the cost of debt. This is very important concept, okay. Now we will further see, okay, this is the solution of the illustration number 1, case number 1. The EBIT is 500,000 and the cost of debt was how much? 5%. So that means 15,000 we will, this is the interest amount. So EBIT less interest, that will be left EBT, earning before taxes. How much? $485,000. And since I have already told you that the Durand assumes certain points, the point was there are no retained earnings, there are no corporate taxes, so we are not about to use the taxation aspect here, okay. That is why I have written EBT is equal to shareholders fund also, because this is the final amount, okay, which will be available for further distribution among the shareholders, equity shareholders, okay. Market value of equity, how much? Market value of equity will be the EBT, like shareholders fund, and which will be divided by the cost of equity, which is 10%. So the overall market value of equity will be 48,50,000. Okay, so this amount, this is what amount? This is the amount of the total value or total market value of the equity. Again, take a look. Market value of equity is equal to, okay, this 485,000. Okay, this is what? Shareholders fund, which is divided by the cost of equity, which is 10%, like 0.10. Okay, so 48,50,000 will be the market value of equity. Now, market value of debt, already it is known in our example, like 300,000. Okay, so total market value of the firm is equal to how much? 48,50,000 plus 300,000. Okay, so this is the total market value of the firm. So total market value of the firm is $51,50,000. Okay, now the last step, overall cost of capital, or we could say here the weighted average cost of capital, is equal to EBT divided by total market value of the firm. What is the total market value of the firm? $51,50,000. Okay, and EBT is how much? 500,000. So 500,000 divided by 51,50,000, and this will give you in percentage like this amount. Okay, because this was our target figure, and we will see this is the overall cost of capital. Now we will see whether overall cost of capital comes down by enhancing the debt proportion in the business or not. Okay, this is our objective, and this is our research question, which is to be proven here. Okay, which is coming 9.7%. If we enhance the debt by issuing more bonds or more debentures in the market, we will take a look whether our WACC comes down or WACC doesn't come down. If WACC doesn't come down, that means this concept gets failed, given by the Durand. Okay, but the Durand said the overall cost of capital comes down by enhancing the debt in the capital structure. Okay, so we will just take a look at how does it impact there. Okay, and in our case number 2, the same concept, EBIT was constant 500,000. Debt was initially in the case number 1 300,000, but here I have enhanced the debt because we have to see whether our WACC comes down or WACC doesn't come down. Our overall cost of capital gets affected by getting down or it doesn't get affected. So increase debt by 100,000. Okay, and our the cost of debt and cost of equity gets remained same. Cost of debt 5%, cost of equity 10%. Every point is fixed. Instead the debt, only we have increased the debt by 100,000. Okay, so we will take a look what is the overall impact on the overall cost of capital. Okay, see here, EBIT 500,000, less interest at the rate of 5%, which comes 20,000. Okay, and after deducting 20,000 from 500,000, it gives us $4,85,000. Market value of equity, EBT divided by cost of equity, very is common concept, as we know it very well. Okay, so here see this amount. Now what does it come? 48 lakhs. Okay, this is the total market value of equity. Okay, market value of equity you have found out. Market value of debt, earlier it was 3 lakhs, now it is 4 lakhs. Total market value 52 lakhs by adding 48 lakhs plus 4 lakhs. Overall cost of capital, we will take a look whether it comes down or it doesn't come down. So EBIT was 5 lakhs, okay, divided by total market value of the firm 52 lakhs, which is giving you 9.61%. So again take a look here, it is coming now for 9.61% now. Okay, initially how much it was? See, 9.7% when the debt amount was 300,000. So the overall cost of capital or weighted average cost of capital, that is WACC, was 9.7%. By enhancing, okay, the debt by 100,000, the overall cost of capital comes down, which is 9.61%. So hence it is proven. So you can say there are two sources of funds in any big corporate. The first one is known as equity, another one is known as debt. And we, in the first case, the debt amount was 300,000, and in the second case the debt amount I increased by 100,000, that it goes to 400,000. Okay, and we have tried to know whether Durand's assumptions or the projections about the valuation of the firm under the net income approach comes true or it doesn't come true. So we have found yes, okay, and it definitely gets affected if you keep on increasing the leverage. You use more and more leverage in your business, so the chances are there the overall cost of capital would come down. This is the concept. Now see, this is a concept which is usually prevalent in Indian corporate houses. They more and more rely on issuing the debt amount through floating the bonds, issuing debentures among investors, or borrowing from the bankers, because they want to decrease their overall cost of capital. So this is the concept of the valuation of the firm under the capital structure theories. Okay, in another concept, the same person, Durand, gave that concept, net operating income approach, that we will see in our next lecture.